Good day and welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting a new series. This is called Tales from the Field. In these videos, we're going to be focusing on your farming story, as well as helping to bring these stories to life. This idea was born from reading comments on previous videos. So if you have a cool farming story you wish to share, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. These stories can include anything from your very earliest memory farming to your favorite tractor and why you enjoy running it. We'll also include stories of buying your first or a unique tractor. Also include the state or what country it all happened in. And if you want us to feature your tractor in the video, go ahead and send me some pictures or videos at locustmotorworks@gmail.com. Also feel free to share this with your friends if they have any cool stories that they want to share. But with that introduction out of the way, let's get into our first story. Mark comments, my dad had a 1955 John Deere 70 diesel with a narrow front end back in about 65 that he used for farming along with his John Deere 4020 diesel. I was just a little boy of 7 years, but I remember that 70 very well. I used to go with Dad to the fields every day when I was little, and I would ride on the platform of the tractor and even sleep there. Dad got a laugh out of how I could sleep on the platform of a running diesel tractor. Definitely is a sweet story, and thanks for sharing. Our second story comes from Jerry. As a 14-year-old kid, I had the honor of driving the first John Deere Model R diesel in a district meeting in Wichita, Kansas, with my uncle, a dealer from Plainview, Texas, Pat Patrick. I just remember sitting in the seat and the hood looking a mile long to me. I learned to drive on the JD Model D as well as the Model A and G. Our next story comes from D. Bachman, 52. He writes, my father bought a used John Deere Model 2 combine shortly after his World War II military service in the Pacific Theater. Dad did custom harvesting of small grain in North Dakota with that Model 2 combine. Dad cut the steel rims off and added used rubber tires when they became available after tire rationing ended for easier road transport. He pulled his combine with a John Deere Model D tractor. Dad and Mom purchased a farm near Findlay, North Dakota in 1950, shortly after their marriage. I was born in 1952 in Sharon, North Dakota, in a one-room hospital. Dad and Mom sold their North Dakota farm in about 1956 and moved to northwest Iowa. Dad moved his John Deere Model 2 combine to Iowa and used it there for a few years. I remember when I was about 7 years old, driving the John Deere Model D, pulling the number 2 combine, while Dad rode along, teaching me how to do that. So the first combine I learned to drive was the first model combine that John Deere built. During my farming career, I owned or drove the following John Deere combines: a 55 rollback, two 55 squarebacks, a 7700, a 7720, two 9500s, a 9510, and a 9560 STS. So I was fortunate enough to know what it was like to experience operating many different combines that were built from 1927 to 2007. My last JD combine had GPS yield monitor and GPS auto steer. I really enjoyed that GPS technology. I remember Dad's JD Model 2 combine parked in the Grove when it was no longer used. Later, it was cut up for scrap. In retrospect, that was a huge mistake to scrap it out. Thanks for your video on the early John Deere combine history. It brought back a lot of memories. Retired Iowa farmer. The next story comes from the Cat 9593, who's talking about his John Deere Model R. He writes, my dad bought a new one in 53. The dealer told him it would make a new farm out of the place because it could plow 2 inches deeper than a John Deere A. My first memory was of him plopping me up on the fuel tank and plowing up a garden spot in the yard. I still remember the sound it made 70 years later. Traded in 58 for a 730 row crop, as a 4-row cultivator could be mounted on it and the R couldn't fit that. Thanks for sharing, and definitely is a cool memory 70 years later. That's going to do it for the first episode of Tales from the Field. I look forward to hearing your stories and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.